Hello and welcome to a new project I get to build. I am going to be building a new PC for myself and figured I'd take people along the journey of this because this is going to be a pretty extensive build. This will be a dual custom water-cooled loop, so one for CPU and one for GPU. What we're going to be doing is some case mods to this as well, so we're going to make it nice looking. Even though it looks pretty good now, I just want to do some, for me, aesthetically pleasing mods, I would say. But if anybody's going to be buying this case, it is a massive case. So it sits about 30 inches tall right now. So, for example, here we go. You guys can see that? Yeah, it's a pretty tall case. So, I mean, overall, build quality seems nice to me. I could really nitpick on the paint. Two different paint colors. It probably doesn't show up very well in the camera, but for me, I can see this color is different than that color. But hey, it is what it is. It fits my purposes, what I want it for. Close-up picture of it. I was not expecting the holes on the bottom right there. I guess that's for their pumps to adjust the pump speed. My idea for this right now is to remove the whole system, get that out of there, and I want to build a false bottom out of aluminum. Since I have some extra scrap aluminum from build plates, building my ender extender right here will make that work. So the whole base will be aluminum at that point. This will be gone, and I'll probably build an aluminum back right here as well, going up to this point. I did buy some white acrylic. Not sure if that's going to work out very well for my application, but we'll find out. Like with all projects, they grow and they change. We'll go with that. Top of the case here is plastic, and it actually just pulls up from the back. So just take it. There's a little groove in the back of here, right around here. You take it and you just pull up on it. There we go. And I also found out that there's little clips to unlatch these sides, which is nice. I'm actually on a chair right now. So yeah, you push these in, it pops out your side vents. So after giving it some thought, trying to figure out how I'm gonna make a template, little boxes. Thank you, Corsair headset box. We can work with this. So tape it together and make it work. So I just got done with my CAD, cardboard aided design right now. And it looks like it's pretty good. I think it's gonna get me close to a template. After cutting this multiple times using the template, I think I got a pretty good fit that I'm happy with. I just got it clamped in place right now. So that's kind of the look I was going for. A complete flat bottom to it. So I got the base pretty much done at this point. Did some trial printing with some PLA and making some standoffs. And I like the height. It looks good to me. I'm gonna run with it. And I just got done printing new standoffs in ASA. I have to say, it feels weird drilling into a brand new case. I don't necessarily like it. That's what we're gonna do. I put the face cover on. I had to loosen these two screws up here because they kept pulling too tight to it. So I probably could trim it slightly down, and I might need to. I feel like this is how the case should have been made to begin with. Keep it flush. So I made a template of where the holes were at and just indexed the holes for those. It's the look I'm going for. I don't like these being there. So I made a mistake. I'm willing to show my mistakes. I actually traced out the wrong hole. Those are the holes I wanted up here, and not these ones. This is for the lower bracket that I removed and I'm not going to use. So, yes, you had to buy more acrylic sheets. Me. So, after thinking about this a lot, I think I figured out how I want to display this. That's kind of what I came up with. I'm going to have two pipes running over here coming down. So that allows you to access from the bottom here for draining and stuff. And the ports, there's going to be a vinyl tubing that runs to the back for the rads and other pass-through connectors. My issue I have with this design is everything's not symmetrical, and that drives me crazy. Because if you see that return line right there for that tube, this one's the same way. I'm not sure if you can take these apart and change that tube to the other side. Because if that's the case, I would change one of them to the other side. I found out that you can take these hats off and rotate them 180 degrees, which is what I did on those. But after doing so, they don't really stay on very well because they're kind of glued on. So I'll probably put some silicone on that. So for anybody wondering about these tubes in the reservoir, they do come apart. So after disassembling the entire pump, there's plenty of YouTube videos on there for that. I used needle nose pliers with a lot of cloth on there to not scratch it. And after some moving around, it eventually came loose. Hard to do with one hand now. There it is. So that gives me the ability to move it to the other side, which is what I wanted. Yeah, so just got the reservoir put back together. This is the one I took apart. I think I actually took both of them apart at this point. But this is the one I changed the return line on. And I like that. We got symmetry now. That took a lot longer than I was anticipating. A lot of little screws. It was easy to take apart. But it is very, very heavy. Nice solid piece. So I'm kind of glad I'm doing a horizontal mount instead of a vertical. But then again, it doesn't really matter on the case because it's going to be displayed here. additionally, for mocking up the GPU, I like the front-facing view of it, but I don't like how much this moves around. Like, if you're just jumping around in the room, it wiggles. I do not like that. I think it might get more support once I put the actual PCIe port on it, but I still don't like that it would wiggle that much. So I may need to add some like rubber in the back here between the plates. There it is. To stop that. We'll see what I want to do. Template is glued down. Try to line up the center as best as I could. I'm not sure if that's going to be really noticeable if it is off slightly. I might just leave wiggle room with the screw holes so I can position them if I get annoyed. It should work out good. I have to say, this turned out very well. I'm very happy with how everything turned out. Now, I hope it fits. Let's get our spaghetti of wires back here. Oops. Actually, that was easier than I thought. Let's put the covers on. I did sand this down. Hopefully it's not as tight now. Good, it doesn't interfere with the wires. Perfect. We got plenty of clearance back there for the wires. To try to get this graphics card straighter, because it's not very straight, as you can tell. Maybe not, but anyway, it's not straight. It's off to an angle, and I like to get it straight in the PC, especially if I'm running straight lines. See, it's off by a lot. It should be around there, so it's off by a little bit. And I think what's going on is there's the tension brackets on the back that hold it up from moving up and down. I'm probably going to remove those and rivet it in place, as I don't quite trust it since it's only plastic, and I don't want this $1,000 card dropping on the ground. So after working on this relatively hard, it's still not straight, and I think I'm at the point of it is what it is. I already broke stuff, so I don't want to break more stuff. I did end up putting 2 screws here and just using the screws to self-tap it, since it feels like it's aluminum and it went through relatively easy. Broke the riser latch right there, so I have a new one on order. Do I think it's going to make a difference? No. Once everything's secured, it's pretty well in there. And I have to say, putting these 2 screws at the top of here actually secures this really well. Now I don't have to worry too much about these plastic latches in the back, which had me concerned. I threw some aluminum tape down to help promote airflow through the vents, because I don't want to be sucking air from the carpeting. I've got the tubing set up from the pump, so this will be the inlet. Try not to mar it up as much as I could, but apparently spray paint's kind of not as durable, unfortunately. Now it's starting to come along. It looks so good right now. Hopefully it works. Yeah, looks could be one thing. Functionality is another. So I got some of the cables ran. Mainboard cable, CPU cables, GPU cables. These are the USB stuff from the top for power. One thing I did for the GPU is they have a 2-into-1. I don't particularly like those. I used the longer one and just hid this behind there. I don't like it, but that's all the cables I have. I did a pin out on my old EVGA cables, and they were different, so can't use those. Well, this is how it looks so far. I'm pretty happy with it, honestly. I'm still waiting for 2 fittings left. That was kind of disappointing to find that out yesterday, where I'm 2 fittings short to complete this. So I had to set for tonight. Hopefully Amazon gives me parts today. But yeah, I'm super happy with how those bends turned out. Going down. And then these ones too. Pretty intricate, and try to get them as best as I can, and at a certain point you kind of have to call it good enough. Initially I wanted this pipe just to run straight over and down, but past Cameron wanted to keep these all lined up, and I didn't want to space this one out farther. So I had to work with what I had. It's kind of what I came up with. And to be honest, I think this is one of my favorite tubes. Hopefully it looks cool. Oh, it was a wiring mess. 2 fans. Didn't run my hoses yet, but those are going to be easy with the vinyl tubing. Hence why I just wanted to go with vinyl tubing in the back, because no one's going to see it. It doesn't matter. So, and then there's also 2 fittings back behind here, which I have to take the fans out to get to those. You can probably see one of those. There it is. Right there. So, and that's another part I'm waiting for, a male-to-male adapter, so I can use a short 90. I got my benchtop power supply powering the pump via the Molex connectors. That's what I made yesterday. And I filled it up with distilled water. So hopefully I can find a leak with distilled water rather than looking for coolant dripping everywhere, because I'd rather see it with distilled. It's easier to clean up at that point. So toggle switch works out too. Alright, I made a crucial mistake on this build. So apparently having these pipes here, which look all pretty and I spent so much time making them, which I'm very sad, I can't use these because these are inlets. And my outlets from here, from reading the manual, mandatory use the front left port as outlet. So I guess that's if you're looking at it. So front left would be this one of these two. Front left one, this one. And that one's going to be front left over here. This would be that one. So I got to run pipes to over here now. I got to make them look symmetrical. Yeah, that's a bummer. Other one. Switch. So this has been running for a little bit now, and I have seen no leaks that I can tell. I'm going to proceed on with leaving the distilled water in there and booting up the PC, see if it works. Alright, well, I got some of the peripherals hooked up. Right now I'm going to hook up the power supply. Right now the power supply is in the off position. Power supply is connected. Alright. Question is, are we going to get any smoke? Hopefully not. Smoke is bad. Fingers on the power supply button. Alright, we got LEDs. That's a good sign. Now the real question is, does the power button work? And do we post? Power button's here. Post. Fans are on back there. Oh, we posted. It looked like we did. Hey! We posted! Ha ha! Ha ha! Yeah! Ha ha! Oh, that's so good. Now, this might be a cool part. We're gonna see. You guys are focused pretty good. I'm just gonna drop it right in there. I only need a couple drops. That's cool. Here's the completed project. It turned out fantastically. Now it's time to build a desk.